Hey up guys, it's man back at it again with a brand new Horizons review. Now, let's just get right into the review. Now make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment, follow Twitter, Instagram, all of that, and let's just get right into the review. Okay, I gotta say, this episode surprised me. Picking up from last week, Iko and Amethio are trapped in a cave while Coral and Onyx are attacking Dot and Roy. Now, I want to talk about this part first. The battle between Roy, Dot, and the Explorers. Why were they getting beat? Did we not just have an episode like where as a Quaxley was beating the hell out of Garganacl, but now as a Quacklevel, they're struggling? It could be argued, oh, they didn't want to battle, they were trying to run, all of that, and that's why they were struggling in the battle. But still, Roy is even stronger than when they fought Coral the first time, and he had like a better chance then than he did now. Same thing with Dot, who did better when fighting as a Quaxley. But yeah, I didn't really like the battle. That's the part that dragged me down. I'm happy we got to see it. I don't really want to see it again. I'm tired of like the kids just like inconsistently being able to fight explorers. Like when how Liko was able to one-shot Kanya's Golduck earlier on in the series, and now like is able to basically stand tied with Amethio. But I guarantee the next time she fights another explorer, she's gonna struggle. But yeah. Speaking of Liko, the Liko and Amethio bonding and just like whole moment in this episode was incredible. We basically see Liko and Florigato starting to get cold while Amethio's standing there being cooled off by Scarlet. That's when Liko comes up with a plan to use Scarlet's fire to basically start a fire in the grass within the cave for the two of them. They sit around the fire. That's when Tarapago starts to like get a little feisty towards Amethio, but Liko and Amethio basically calm it down, saying that Amethio has no reason to go after them and all that. We then see Liko ask Amethio about the trash soul orb he has, and he just talks about it for a bit. Then we get a really nice scene where Liko admits that she thinks Amethio is a good person and doesn't see why they need to be enemies. And she brings up a lot of evidence, like how multiple times Amethio has helped her out. Like when Sprigatito was about to fall off the ship, he did in fact save her, but that he also didn't use it as leverage. But he didn't have to save Sprigatito, along with saving the two of them during the Rayquaza fight. But Amethio keeps like throwing this off. I like how this kind of fits with Liko's own goal of like understanding Pokemon. She's able to understand Amethio and understand that he's not truly a bad guy, and he's just doing all this explorer stuff for a reason. And she even asks the reason, where Amethio straight up just says, hey, the leader of the explorers, that's my grandpa, and I don't want to disappoint him. I'm surprised Amethio just straight up said that to like Liko. And it felt like they were trying to hide it, but now Liko straight up knows, oh, Amethio's grandfather runs the explorers, which might be important later on. And I like how Liko even says, why can't we get along? Because we all want the same thing. We just all want to go to Lugia. But I like how Amethio straight up says, most people won't see it that way. Meaning like the Volt Tacklers, like, I could see the Volt Tacklers in a world getting along with some of the explorers, but like I don't see any of the explorers getting along with the Volt Tacklers to work together to get to Ricola. So I guess Amethio's whole thing works. Amethio isn't one of them, because Amethio has been shown to, as long as it fits his goal, he doesn't really care what he does, because him and Freed tag teamed with Liko and Roy against the Rayquaza, because his plan was to catch Rayquaza at that point, so he teamed up. But yeah. After their little chat, Amethio realizes there's a way to get out, because of how cold it is in the cave. Because of a breeze he heard blowing into the cave, he realizes they can get out through the thing. So he sends out Corbinite to carry them out, but he wants to make the wreckage a little bigger, so he asks Liko and Florigato to help him make the little out thing bigger, the little crevice in the cave. So they team up, break out of the cave, and we get a cool little scene of Haturum catching all the rocks from the basically opening the cave more, then destroying them all with Brutal Swing, and then the duo gets out of the cave. Meanwhile, back to the explorers fight, they're wasting more and more of Roy and Dot's time, and that's when Grusha comes in and basically scares Onyx off, because Agate at the same time is watching them and also trying to keep an eye on Liko and Amethio, and tells them, if we have the gym leaders getting involved, our plans will be ruined, so fall back. Which, it's an interesting thing, and I can't wait to see what they're planning. So yeah, Onyx and Koro retreat, and it's actually revealed that Freed had called up Grusha in the gym to see if he can help with a mountain-wide search for Liko, because it was going to take him at least a couple hours to get to the mountain. But yeah, Liko and Amethio escape the cave and part their separate ways, and they end off on really good terms, surprisingly, and both just head their own separate ways. Amethio back with the explorers, and Liko trying to find her way back to the Volt Tappers and to the Academy. That's when Grusha uses his top-notch navigation skills to realize the rock was moved, and they all put it together that it was the explorers. But yeah, Grusha destroys the rock, and Liko just happened to be standing behind it, wandering back. And that's when Frida arrived, and she tells them everything that happened with Spinel, the crystal, and basically Umbreon going berserk, and how her and Amethio were trapped and had to work together. That's when Freed puts it all together, that it was Spinel who stole the crystal from the lab, and that they need to do more research on what Rookerium really is. And I like how they're actually being open with each other because they're not hiding stuff. I hate when people, especially in anime, like, the kids will know, like, out of the groups, like, say, like, something like My Hero, the kids will have, like, a crucial detail and just not tell any of the adults and just, like, basically themselves go deal with it. I hate when that happens, but I'm happy the Volt Tappers are actually working as a team. Freed didn't keep information to himself, even though that's one of his main traits. He told the kids immediately, oh, that's Rupium, Spinel stole it from my old lab, blah, 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 it's connected to Terrapago somehow. Then that's the research he's been doing. But yeah, Freed tells the kids that they should go back to the Terrestrial Force and go back to the Academy because it's soon and they're going to be heading off once they're done. And that also sets up the ending of the arc, which we're going to get in the next 2 episodes, with the Explorer's plan coming into fruition, along with the kids ending the Jurassic Force. But yeah, we also get a really nice scene where it's like Grusha basically looking at Liko. I can't really get the vibe of this. I initially was thinking, like, oh, maybe Grusha felt bad. Like, maybe he thought Liko went missing on purpose because he failed her. But I don't really know. But yeah, Grusha basically just like says, good job being safe to Liko, and he's happy she's safe, and goes off. That's when the kids decide, oh, let's go back to the Academy, and Liko says she wants to go to the Peak of Paldea. That was their initial plan, and she doesn't want to ruin it. And now she's actually in the mood to go there after basically everything that happened with Amethio, and her basically putting her thoughts together and basically just focusing up because of her talk with Amethio, mentioning that her and all the kids are taking Terrestrial Course to get stronger, and Amethio also wants to get stronger, and she realizes that's not the only way she can get stronger, and they blah blah blah. Yeah, nice development for Liko. And they take a really cool selfie on the top of the mountain, and it cuts to the Explorers. The Explorers are having a meeting where Spinel and the rest of the Explorers make up a lie that Amethio and Liko were working together behind the back of Gibeon. And that causes Gibeon to say, oh, I'm very disappointed in you and Amethio, and basically kick him out of the Explorers due to him being a traitor. That's a crazy ending. So Amethio is basically just a free agent at this point, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Spinel, as always, my master goat, planning. He had a plan for everything. His whole purpose of like this was just not even just like, oh, let me get Terrapagos, or oh, let me make sure they're out of my way for the next plan. It's no, I want Amethio out of here. So before we go on to the next stage of my plan, so he does that. He basically, before what seems to be a takeover of the school, based on what is happening next episode, he basically just sends off. He's like, Amethio, get out of here. We don't want you. And that's how we're left off. Like, Amethio is on his own. The Volt Tacklers are heading back to school for 2 more episodes where it's their final implementation test where they have to battle each other. Now, this arc has had its highs and lows. A lot of the filler was like, and a lot of episode characters should have like caught more Pokemon. But yeah. Also, speaking of it, we're getting the Fuecoco evolution soon, and for some reason, Tinkatink's evolving based on that poster. So yeah, and Amethio is also going to be a major player next arc, which is going to be incredible to see. Because here's my problem: throughout the whole of Horizons, like we especially early on, we like Amethio was like set up to be, oh, he's the new Team Rocket, and for the first like half of like the arc 1, Amethio was consistently there, but then Amethio fails and gets replaced by Spinel, which makes a lot more sense. So we have a constant sports threat. Then Amethio shows back up, has a different mission, disappears again, and then shows back up for a training arc after losing the free, and then disappears again, and then just shows up to fight Rayquaza, then disappears again, then shows back up to fight trying to figure out what Spinel's planning. Amethio has been an incredible character for Horizon, but he's just been inconsistently appearing. Like, he'll disappear for episodes and we'll have no word about him compared to other characters who like will consistently appear. Like, for example, even characters like Anne, who you don't think would have been that important, made consistent appearances, and even now that she is in the school, she appears a lot. But yeah, it's just weird that Amethio really only ever appears in plot episodes when he interacts with the Volt Tacklers, and the rest we get of Amethio is just, hey, we'll have a random episode, and where Amethio just is doing like where we cut to Amethio and he's just training. Like, yeah. Overall, I'm gonna give this episode a 9 out of 10. The only thing that really puts me off is like that we really just sidelined Dot and Roy with more mid battles, which that's the only complaint I've really had with the Paldea arc. Besides, like, maybe the kids could have more catches. We just keep getting like mid battles, and especially like stuff like this. Like, we're getting like, I'm tired of seeing it's literally just becoming the Team Rocket syndrome. It's always because these four only have one set of Pokemon, so every time they battle, it's the same gimmick, and one side just keeps getting stronger, so they're struggling less and less. But for certain points in the story, they need it like the other one's stronger, so they keep making up BS examples of why all of a sudden they have to struggle against the Explorers. Wow, in a random filler episode, Onyx just shows up and they fight him for no reason. But yeah, like I said, 9 out of 10, and yeah, can't wait to see how the next episode goes. If you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I just want to say, I think I broke my chair while recording this just now. The foam on the little parts on my chair is coming off, and that's kind of sad because I love this chair. But yeah, hope you guys like this video. S-Man signing off.